Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
God, it's been a while since I've watched it, so I don't know.
Yeah, where Luke was
in his eyeball.
He's just staring straight. What's this new?
I mean, that's the first time
I can no longer see color.
That's the first time you see a lightsaber light up and stuff is at Obi-Wan's house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
What?
On the distant world of Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Twin sons.
Tatooine. I saw a meme today. It was talking about how the stormtroopers had to have blasted up the Jawa transport because it was too accurate to be sand people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the prequels, they got the sand person taking out the pod racers at 400 yards.
Yeah, with a giant long run. Things? Oh, there it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's a 128. I don't have a 128, I don't think. I thought one was...
Did I grab the wrong one?
Because it's got other recordings on it, but it doesn't have any of the sounds that I have.
Can we use that one tonight?
I mean...
I'll add the intro.
We don't have any of the other sound effects.
Oh, man.
I haven't...
That's acapella. We're doing it live.
You have another one?
No, but we're not recording off of this one.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah, my bad. I grabbed one I thought was yours.
Okay. It's so good. I'm pretty sure it's a 64.
It's going to have to be good.
All right.
So we'll just pretend that the music's going right now. Hey, you got sound effects.
Oh, yeah.
That's built-in shit.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Extraordinaire.
Episode 102, boys, coming to you from the I Am Renton space here in...
Minute of it.
You guessed it, beautiful downtown Renton.
Yes.
I thought we were in Aberdeen.
Oh, well, close enough.
Yes.
I got to go to Aberdeen on Monday.
Right. And I think every state in the Union has a city named Aberdeen.
Oh, is that true?
I believe that to be true.
That's kind of a cool thing. All right.
Probably Auburn and Bellevue.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Boys,
Only one Seattle, though.
tonight's safe word is Smurfberry. Can you guess why tonight's safe word is
Why would we say Smurfberry?
Because this very here podcast just put out a radio parody. A very Smurfy Smurfsmith came out today when we're recording. It'll be last week for you folks, but go check it out.
Yeah, go listen to it over on Spotify because I put a poll on there saying, do you like this?
Oh, all right.
We want to hear from
That's
you guys.
nice. Oh, we really do. We want to hear all about it.
You
All the trolls and everybody.
It's our finest hour.
Mike
people.
really liked it.
I did. I
really
listened to it
enjoyed it
twice
too.
already. I really have.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a labor of love, mostly a love of labor, but it was a labor. But we love it. So
Yeah.
Any ideas for next year's radio?
I
play?
don't, man. Some kind of holiday thing. We talked about doing like maybe a Thanksgiving one. Might be kind of a fun thing to do.
Or maybe we can do a very special Die Hard or something.
Oh, that would be kind of fun to do, like a Die Hard. Not the whole Die Hard, because that would, be...
We could do a Hot Rodders Thanksgiving special.
where they go home to the farm.
They go back to their home planet Kazook.
Exactly, yep.
That would, crossover. That's what the world is.
Oh, my gosh. Well, if anybody feels unsafe for any reason, just yell out, Smurfberry, and we will stop this here program and check on you. And that includes you folks at home, too. Just type in Smurfberry in the comments section. We will stop.
An anti-particle backwards in time.
Boys, tonight's episode is the TV very special episodes. And I thought this would be fun because I remember as a kid, all the shows, all the sitcoms, they all had that special episode where one of the main characters would come out and tell you that this is going to be a very, parents need to have a discussion with their children and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, the ones that stand out for me, and they're all on your list, is the bicycle shop on Different Strokes.
Yep.
And then I vaguely remember seeing the Family Ties one where, like, I think it's a friend of like the. God, brain fart.
Parents or whatever?
No, the Marty McFly.
Oh, Alex P. Keaton's friend when he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we'll get more deep into those.
But then the one that actually I wasn't like sad about it. I was actually kind of laughing at it because it was kind of silly. But the whole like caffeine pills episode of
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I was going to say Baywatch, but it's Saved by the Bell.
I mean, they did go to Hawaii in their senior year or some shit.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I mean, there are so many. I think just about every television show back then, whether it was comedy, was sitcom, or like a drama, had some kind of crazy special episode.
I mean,
were they obligated to do so?
I don't know. I just think it was like the writers got a wild hair. Let's do an episode with kids getting stuck in refrigerators because that's a huge thing.
I think because of like a lot of the shows were like tie-ins to toys and stuff. They had to have X number of like
refrigerator your kid can camp.
Oh yeah, that's the other one was on
Punky Brewster.
Sherry got stuck in a fridge.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. It must have been a thing.
It must have been a thing.
Yeah.
And why in the fuck is the locking mechanism on your refrigerator that robust?
Yeah. Don't you remember did you guys have the old ones that had like the car door handle that you had to click and
you mean the handle that all walk-ins still have to this day?
All walk-ins.
It's the same fucking mechanism.
They've got a boopity boop boop on it.
They do.
The walk-ins
not easy to boot through.
The walk-ins have the button on the inside, but that's only because they're big enough that you can actually go inside.
Yeah.
And people, if you're trapped in a room, don't bother with the door. That's reinforced fine drywall or some shit like that and go that way.
Kicking your way out.
It's way.
Yeah.
It's
I
way.
mean, yeah.
So, boys, what is a very special episode? They peaked in the 1980s. They would always be advertised in the previews and stuff as a very special episode.
Next up,
exactly. Originally used in American television promos to refer to an episode of a sitcom or drama series most dealing with difficult or controversial social issues.
it was usually on like the after-school special or.
Well, we'll talk about those too, but what these are is the actual like primetime sitcom.
Yeah. No, I remember that, but I remember that the after school special is the one that always had the one about drug abuse, alcoholism,
parents hitting you.
I swear to God,
domestic violence or sexual assault.
All that stuff. Yeah, so traditionally, the very special episodes contained either a brief message from a cast member or a title card at the beginning saying viewer discretion advised.
Yeah.
And I remember, because I just watched it, that Mr. Drummond, Conrad Bain, the guy that played Mr. Drummond, actually did a cold open on the bicycle episode that Todd was talking about. And he comes out and he's talking to the camera. He's like, hey, we're doing a special episode tonight. Parents should get together with their kids and discuss this afterwards and stuff like that. So,
is he a good actor?
I don't know that. I don't know what else he was in besides that.
I think he did lots of like westerns.
Back in the day,
back in the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
What I mean by westerns, he was like on like Rawhide and things like that.
Yeah. I'll say this: he got Dixie Carter on the show.
Right on.
They dated on. I think they got married at one point.
No,
on the show.
Oh yeah, the characters got married.
That's nice.
And she had the little redheaded
Danny Cooksey, the redheaded mullet kid from T2. Yeah.
Oh my.
the shark kid, just
Drummond.
Cousin Simon or whatever. Cousin
Oliver. Yeah.
Oliver.
I mean, he wasn't. He wasn't quite Cousin Oliver, but might as well have been because that was when Arnold was not cute anymore.
Right. Yep. Gary Coleman had grown up a bit, filled out.
I mean,
didn't look
he
like
he was in his mid-20s by the time he looked 18, but he was like 27.
Come sit here, Arnold.
He's like, hey,
ain't I too old for this shit?
Yeah.
Hey,
how many seasons was that? Matt?
It's like,
yeah, that was like 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, something like
and he's like, at the end, he was like, "What you talking about, Willis?" You know?
So usually they had to alert the audience, the viewers, that there was potentially graphic or disturbing nature, and give them time to decide whether or not they want to watch the episode, or if they got to get the kids out of the room, right?
Yeah. And that's adding some zazz to it.
It does. You're like, oh my god, because as kids watching that, we're like, oh, mom's not around. I'm going to watch this crazy. You know,
the last day or what is it?
The nuclear war one.
Yeah.
Oh, the day after.
The day after.
Same kind of
I've never watched that.
Oh, really? I remember seeing it then and going, get to the good part, man.
Just waiting for the nuclear explosion to happen, and it's all the people freaking out leading up to it.
Man, we spent, a lot of money making nukes.
Yeah.
We all made a lot of nukes, man, like a bunch.
A couple years ago, I remember there was a Gen X creator over on TikTok who was like, people are freaking out about like the possibility of World War III and nuclear war and germ warfare and stuff like that.
Oof.
And he's like, yeah, didn't we already do this?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Give me something new.
Fallout shelters.
Yeah.
Oh man!
All the schools had one.
Hey, hide under your tin desk made with wood and tin to prevent you from getting blasted by the nuclear bomb.
I don't know how many times I tried to steal the Fallout shelter sign from Holy Names Academy.
There's no statute of limitations on that.
Yeah, I kept trying to peel that fucking thing off, but I didn't have like a socket set, so I'm like using I don't know, even like a pair of pliers or something trying to get this sign off a concrete wall.
I was like,
but I wanted it.
Yeah,
I remember noticing
and
that
then the kids get lost. They don't know the
I remember noticing that our school, my middle school in Issaquah, which is now an elementary school, but it had bomb shelter signs on the gymnasium.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that all about? And the teacher's like, yeah, this, just in case there's ever a nuclear war, we have someplace for all the kids and the faculty to go.
Yeah.
Or emergency in general, right? I don't know. I'm not against such things necessarily.
No.
And it's the glass. That's why they make you duck in covers, so the glass, when it goes, either gets sucked out or gets blown in, or a combination thereof. A hurricane of glass.
A hurricane.
Right? It's like,
great.
Now, nukes are fucking...
I'm not too worried about glass when nuclear fallout's going to be coming,
That's just the blast. No. The rest of it's worse. So,
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, we used to frequent the bomb shelter, which became the Fallout shelter, which was our favorite skate and punk rock music store.
Oh, yeah.
Up on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Boys, the main purpose of the very special episode, generally to raise awareness of an issue and encourage those affected to seek help if necessary. So sometimes they would say just talk to your parents, or they might actually give you a phone number
to call. Yeah. I mean, that was way before the internet, so there wasn't like websites or short code numbers to call. That was even before 911, I think.
Yeah. Geez. Generally, the main characters, there's a few in some of the examples I found, but the main characters would be the ones to avoid any serious harm. Usually it would be a minor character or a guest star that would be affected.
I mean...
But like the Bicycle Man was Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley was like...
He's Arnold's
best friend who was like the neighborhood black kid. He lived in the Upper East Side or whatever it was.
Dudley.
The dangers were most of the time just threats that never actually happen.
Sure.
So there's like an innuendo that this could happen, and then it did. But sometimes, as we'll find out, like Cherry getting stuck in the refrigerator,
I remember seeing that episode on TV. I was like,
I did too. That's why it's stuck in my mind as one of those.
Which one?
The one that Cherry gets stuck in.
Oh man, that's awful.
Punky Brewster.
A lot of times, boys, they were were presented as 2-part episodes.
All right.
Because they were so,
Tune in next week to find out if Sherry died.
Yeah. The one, and we'll talk about it, the one that Todd mentioned earlier about Family Ties was an hour-long episode, and they didn't air commercials in the second half because it was so intense. So we'll talk about that.
I don't know. That's a great way to sell, to put butts in seats.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
as the kids say.
It was an educational thing.
It was an educational thing. So I was also going to think that special episodes might include like the greatest and the worst finales of TV shows in history, but I think we could do a whole separate episode on just that subject.
Just like the final episode, how great or how terrible it was?
Yeah, exactly. Just all these shows that we could just throw together and talk about how either awesome it was or, or even if it wasn't awesome, it just might be like stupefying, right? It's like St. Elsewhere. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
With the snow globe.
I know I've probably asked.
We're the snow globe.
I know that I know I asked this before, but is that the one that had Howie Mandel as like a doctor?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Every time he shakes that snow globe, that's when we got to hit to the fallout shelter.
Oh man.
Twirling it up. So, boys, some notable episodes, and these are kind of all over the place. So I'm hoping that we can talk about, the show itself and the episode itself and whatever spurs this. But All in the Family, back in 1977, had a 2-part episode called Edith's 50th birthday.
Oh, man.
And Edith Bunker, believing a serial rapist to be a police officer, lets him into her house because he comes to the door and he's like, I'm the police, and he lets her in, or lets the guy in, and then he attempts to sexually assault her while all the rest of the family and friends are next door at the neighbor's house at her birthday party.
Oh,
and she's there trying to fight this dude off and stuff. And I think at one point Archie comes home but doesn't notice anything and then leaves because, he's Archie. He just gets fed up and I'm going back to the party or whatever. But she never actually gets sexually assaulted. But then the second part episode is that she is reluctant to go report it to the police because she doesn't want the stigma and she doesn't want the attention, and she blames herself a little bit. But then she finds out that the guy has done it again, and then she's like, fuck, I gotta go turn this guy in because he's just gonna keep doing it. And she's
I don't think I ever saw that.
And he's a cop to boot.
He's not a cop. He pretended to be a cop to gain access to her house. So, I mean, come on. Poor Edith, right?
I know, man. She's a sympathetic character. Yeah. Jeez, I remember. Yeah, that's good.
I never watched it, obviously, when it was like new, but I did see in syndication. Yeah.
I remember my grandfather liked watching that show because he liked Archie.
Right.
I think he identified with Archie, which is kind of sad to think about. But
and who's the writer of that?
It's Lear, isn't it?
Yeah,
or he was the creator.
Norman Lear was the creator of the show. Yeah. He's actually the creator of a lot of the great sitcoms of the 70s and 80s. And he recently, in the last couple of years, died. He was at 100 years old.
He lasted a good long time. Yeah. So I don't really remember, but I think she went in and I think what's their daughter's name?
Gloria.
Yeah, I think she finally convinced Edith to go to the police and file a report.
And between eating all the sandwiches that are supposed to go to those hungry kids in Africa.
Come on.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit, man.
Number 2 on my list, we talked about a little bit already, The Bicycle Man. This was in 1983.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Arnold, along with his friend Dudley, are targeted by a pedophile who owns a local bike shop and has sexually abused children in the past. Arnold's would-be abuser is arrested after Arnold confides in his father. So, Gordon Jump plays the Bicycle Man.
Yeah, I like Gordon Jump.
He wrestled with taking the role because he was a well-known television actor, and he always felt like this might stigmatize.
He was on WKRP, wasn't
he? He was the boss on that.
And has done Mass.
Yeah, he's done a ton of stuff. But he actually looks back on it. I know he's long past, but he says he looked back on it fondly and said it was a great thing for him to do because it called attention to strange Stranger Danger and all that stuff. So, yeah. I think what he was doing is he was giving them like laced soda or something and would kind of knock them out, a little cough syrup.
70s are
or
for
something.
real.
Some serious Bill Cosby shit. Yeah. And then I know in the episode when the police came in, like Dudley had his shirt off and stuff. And it's just like, fuck, man. Poor Dudley.
Poor Dudley.
Right?
Yeah, he's the Jodie Foster of Different Strokes.
Yes, oh my God. Like the
dedication
accused,
to the
right?
art, dude. Yeah.
Different Strokes, and I don't remember this episode, Todd. You might. The Hitchhikers.
I don't.
Arnold is 1984. Arnold and Kimberly hitchhike home for their father's birthday party. They're picked up by a man who plans to rape Kimberly. I know. Arnold manages to escape and alert the police just in time to arrest the man. It's like, man.
Todd Bridges is the only one left from that cast.
Yeah, because Mrs. Garrett's gone. Well, I guess the original cat is the kid. What'd you say his name was?
Oh, Danny Cooksey. Yeah, he's still around. Yeah, but of the original cast members.
Does Cooksley? Does he show up and stuff? Does he act or voice?
I think he does voice acting nowadays.
Okay.
I mean, the beyond him being in that show and Terminator 2, he was also like on Tiny Toons. He was Montana Max.
Nice. You remember him from Terminator 2. He was the best friend that told the cop that
the redheaded mullet kid.
Oh, yeah, right on. What's his name?
Danny Cooksey.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he was also in a Nickelodeon show called Salute Your Shorts.
Oh.
And he was basically the same character.
Early 90s.
Early mid-90s. And he was basically the same character he was in T2. He was kind of a...
rough around the edge.
Yeah, that kid.
Mullet.
Yeah.
Rocker kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, the T-1000, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no,
Yeah.
it saved his life.
He's like, nah.
One of my
could go on to Pecker.
one of my autistic friends actually has
That's
him
a good
friended on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And
Nice.
he came up as a people you might know. I was like, who the fuck do I know that knows Danny Cooksey? And I'm looking through sometimes people have the mutuals, and I'm like, clicked on mutuals. I'm like, holy crap! Why do you have him friended? I mean, maybe I don't know, but yeah, no.
All right.
He's still acting. He's just doing a lot of voice acting stuff.
Good for him. Keep him busy, man.
It's a great job.
So yeah, I don't remember that episode 1984, but it's like, fuck, man, that's
1984
for a sitcom,
Sure.
right? Here's one from way back in 1972, and I don't remember watching Maude at all. I know of it.
Yeah, same.
But a Maude's Dilemma, another 2-part episode. Maude, who is 47 years old and a grandmother, learns she's pregnant and contemplates having an abortion. So it's a 2-part episode. So first she learns about it and she's like wrestling what to do and all that stuff. Second part of it, she decides to go ahead with the abortion. 1972. I mean, where's the Catholic League, right? They should have been all...
Well,
I'm sure they were.
I recently heard that the reason why abortion has become a huge thing is because they can no longer put forward a bunch of the things that are now considered racist. So they, instead of going after like poor people who are people of color kind of thing, they now go after abortion because that's another thing that they didn't care about abortion up until I think the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeez. So yeah, Maude, who was played by
B. Arthur.
B. Arthur. Yeah, Golden Girl herself.
Yeah.
47 years old, getting pregnant. I ain't got no business getting pregnant.
If you want to see some funny stuff, you got to look at some of the earlier celebrity roasts on Comedy Central when B. Arthur was still alive. They would mercilessly go after B. Arthur.
Oh.
It was funny as shit, dude. And she would also come back and she would have things to say about those people.
What roast was she in? Was it?
I want to say.
This is pre the modern roast.
I mean, it was like early on before they started calling it the Comedy Central roast, but it was like the roast that Jeff Ross did in Comedy Central.
Okay. Because I remember like the ones with Dean Martin.
Oh,
those are great.
Those are available, I think, on Tubi.
Yeah, but they might be done by that point. Well, when was Maude? 72?
72.
Oh no,
She would have been on. She would have still been young in those roasts.
Yeah. Yeah. Geez. Todd mentioned this one. I wasn't a huge Saved by the Bell watcher, but I remember this episode, Jesse's Song, where 1990, Jessie is struggling to find the time and energy to rehearse for her friend's music video and study for school. She begins to rely on caffeine pills to function, a form of substance abuse. I guess, a little trivia, the episode was originally written with Jessie becoming addicted to speed. But that was scrapped due to standards and practices, so they didn't want to make Jessie a speed.
I mean, caffeine pills basically is speed.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And easily accessible.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a doctor's script.
Yeah, little no-dose.
Nope.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now we got rocket chocolate.
Oh, yeah, now we got
energy
Monster.
drinks and
Oh,
Monster.
yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Fuck.
What I remember from that episode is that by the end of the episode, she's like freaking out. And she's like, I gotta go. I gotta do this. And I gotta do that. And Zach's like, no, just settle down. She's like, but I gotta get, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. That's the reactions I had watching it. It was like, oh my God.
On caffeine pills.
So good.
All caffeine pills would do. Elizabeth Berkley, Showgirls.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
in the revival series where she's like the principal of the school.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's actually it's not terrible, but it's not great, but it's not terrible. They reference that episode and
Nice.
it's like, yeah, I had a problem with caffeine pills back in the day. The kids are like, what?
Caffeine pills?
Really?
It's like I drink a 6-pack of Coke a day. Is that kind of the same thing?
I mean,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, dude. So, I guess that's as close as they could come. Saved by the Bell was like an early Saturday morning.
Yeah, geez.
it wasn't like early Saturday, but it was on after all the cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, Screech and Zach Morris.
I heard he was Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson's still alive.
He's the one that passed away, right? None of all the other kids.
He had really aggressive cancer.
Oh, no, I didn't know
Screech
that.
did?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some other issues too. He didn't he do a porno or something?
Yeah, I watched. He wrote a book, a tell-all book that became like an unauthorized behind the scenes of that show he was on.
And then they did a mini series or something based on that book, right, or something.
No, it was like an unauthorized documentary. Not documentary. It was like a biopic or whatever. Either way, it was like it shows like all the things behind the scenes, how he was constantly being like left out of whatever's going on.
Yeah, he was like 2 or 3 years younger than
everybody else.
Cast,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Last year, I got to meet Mario Lopez, and he was a really nice dude. And I also think I saw Mark Paul Gosselaar as well. Both of them are nice dudes. Mark Paul Gosselaar is on a new show called Found, where he's kind of a creeper, and he kidnapped a girl.
Against type.
Yeah, he was way different than Zach. I mean, actually, it's not that different from Zach Morris. Zach Morris was a bit of a...
It's a job. It's nice to...
No, I'm saying the character itself.
The character, yeah.
The character itself.
Manipulative and... narcissistic and self-centered.
There is a YouTube channel called Zach Morris is a Dick. It goes through and like rewatches episodes or clips of the show and points out all these shitty things that Zach was doing.
Oh man,
nice.
And like you realize how much of a dickhead that character was.
Nice.
Oh god.
Jeez. Okay, moving on. Golden Girls, one of my favorite shows of the 80s, had an episode called Sick and Tired. And this kind of plays even into today, where we had, this is more doctor, not insurance company, but Dorothy suffers from a mysterious illness and goes to the doctor. And all he does is sort of dismisses her concerns and her symptoms, and saying, there's nothing wrong with you, just get more sleep or take it, whatever.
That kind of shit still happens with people who have invisible disabilities.
Yeah, Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
So she goes to another specialist who diagnoses her with a chronic fatigue syndrome. After encountering him in a restaurant, Dorothy confronts the first doctor and gives him an earful about, hey, listen to your patients, dude.
Yeah.
Don't just. And I think it was Jeffrey Tambor that played the original doctor.
Great choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's good at playing bad guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that kind of snotty,
Smarmy,
smarter than thou. Yeah, he's good.
Anybody else Golden Girl fans?
I liked watching it. My mom loved that.
Yeah,
show.
my mom too.
I liked that one. I even liked the spin-off series Empty Nest.
Oh, with Joe Suzuki.
Joe Suzuki, and it also had what's his name?
Martin.
Martin something. I can't remember his. I can't. Remember. He was funny in that show.
Yeah.
Or Martin
Not Martin Mull,
Mull.
Martin Short. No, it was and Kirsty Swanson was in that. The great Kirsty Swanson.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't that her name? The one that was in Kelly McNichol. Kelly
Christy McNichol.
Christy McNichol. I knew it was a Christy. Yeah. I think that's like her last acting credits or something.
I think
she
it
was
is,
one of the
yeah.
daughters. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like one of the two daughters. The other daughter was one of the pink ladies from Greece.
Oh. Okay. Nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. I can't even think of what she looked like.
Not one of the-
Television, you say.
Not one of the main ones, mind you, but she was one of the second or third tier pink lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom always dreamed of, something happened to the old man that she would get with a couple of her friends and they would be the Golden Girls.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get with them, huh?
Well,
Just talk shit all day long.
just talk shit about, whatever. Boys, this one was based on an actual event, episode of WKRP in Cincinnati, 1980, episode called In Concert.
Oh, I remember that.
Because of the Who concert at the Cincinnati Riverfront Coliseum, where a whole bunch of people got trampled and died. So they basically did an episode talking about that kind of.
I vaguely remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And basically we're trying to say, let's ban this festival seating because everybody's trying to get to the front, right? But ever since, there's been more of those.
Since then, we've had bombs.
I think
It's like they went, let's not just let people randomly
go wherever.
Yes.
I think nowadays they have a lot more event staff that keeps track of stuff like that.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
And I mean, the giant stadium concerts were sort of new.
Yeah.
Right? Benny Goodman didn't do stadium. I guess he did for, the war effort.
I mean,
stuff like that. But you know what I mean? It's like, there's nothing like.
Nobody was selling out 25,000 seats.
So it's a new thing.
And bands are usually are way more aware of these types of things now. They're like actively looking in the audience, making sure people are cool when they're singing and stuff. Because I remember there was a couple of different times where I've been at a show where this show stopped because something was going on.
Sure.
Yeah. What was that concert with the Stones? Was that Altamont in the late 60s?
But that was an assault.
Somebody stupidly hired the Hells Angels to run security.
Yeah, and the guy had a weapon, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was at Woodstock that had
No. I think Woodstock people got sick. Like some people got sick.
Don't take the brown acid.
Yeah. And just filth. Yeah, it was like 3 days of fucking hippie fucking filth. Like, dude, it's like, no, it's a petri dish, people.
I would imagine it smells like Comic-Con on day 4.
Yeah. I will say this. Always wanted to work in radio because of WKRP in Cincinnati.
I did too, actually. Yeah.
Always wanted to be a DJ.
Yes.
And do radio
Howard
stuff.
Hessman, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Dr. Detroit.
Not Dr. Detroit. The movie.
Oh, yeah.
The movie, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about
Superfly.
Venus Flytrap.
Venus Flytrap.
Yeah, the other guy.
Who did it? He's not DC Cab. What else was he in?
Hessman?
No, the cat who played.
Judd Hirsch?
No, Venus Flytrap.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Wasn't he in Firefly? Isn't he the preacher from Firefly?
I think he is, yeah. He was the preacher man from Firefly,
That's right, yeah.
I was thinking of the
No, the preacher from Firefly was the guy that was in
Fish, or not Fish, but
Barney Miller?
Barney Miller.
Oh.
He was the cop in Barney
you're
Miller.
thinking
then what happened to
You're
Venus
thinking of
Flytrap?
the dude from the other. He's the one who played Joseph in the Jackson 5 miniseries, where you see like the kids being beat by the
Tim
dead.
Reed.
Tim Reed, that's his name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he shows up he showed up. I don't know what he's, probably retired or passed by now, but.
Jeez, that's going. I evidently on that 70s show, yeah.
Oh, he was on the 70s show?
That's what it said.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is never wrong.
Never wrong.
Never wrong.
I think he played a DJ on that 70s show as well.
Nice.
I don't know. Boys.
Yeah, Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
Did that have any? I guess all
I'm
their episodes had a
sure.
little bit of melodrama,
Yeah.
right? For sure.
Yeah, even though it was a comedy,
yeah.
it had, and I watched that whole series again like last year. I just
Barney Miller?
Yeah, went through the entire.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I mean,
right.
it's dated just because it's dated.
Sure.
But they're still funny. And Fish was great.
Abe Vigoda. Abe Vigoda's another one of those people who would get picked on mercilessly on those roast shows too. Him and B. Arthur were like the target for a lot of the dumb jokes.
And Jack Sue, I remember as a kid when Jack Sue died, and they did that special episode for him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Huh?
Yeah, I remember watching that with my
Oh,
mom.
the Japanese dude from Barney Miller?
Yeah.
He who probably smoked 80 packs a day. Everybody back then on set, he was just like,
Yeah, but he drank sake and ate a lot of fish,
Nice.
probably. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Balance.
Yeah, he was around for a long time. Yeah, he was also in the Green Berets with John Wayne when John Wayne
That's
did the
great.
1969 movie. He
Wow.
was, yeah, in that.
I thought he was an actual Green Beret for a second.
No.
Like, really? Wow.
Yeah. Boys, moving to 1990, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had many episodes that were special episodes. The one that I put on here is an episode called Mistaken Identity in 1990. While driving to Palm Springs in a Mercedes that belongs to Philip Banks's white colleague, Will and Carlton are picked up by
I remember
two
that
white
one.
police officers that accuse the two of being car thieves.
That's,
so it's kind of that, young guys, usually two young African American, black men driving a car. They have to have stolen it.
Insane.
Right? Yeah. Still kind of topical. I mean,
Yeah.
this is 1990.
we gotta continue to move towards
Men in Black 3,
Adjust.
they had a very similar, where he goes back in time and he's driving a convertible Cadillac and he gets pulled over. He's like, "Oh, just because I'm a black man, I stole this car." Well, I did, but that doesn't mean that every time you see a black man driving a nice car that they stole. Blah blah blah. It's funny, but at the same time, it's like that's a thing that really does happen. And
Yeah. I think I told you guys I watched the latest. I think it came out earlier this year, last year at some point. The Bad Boys with Will Smith.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it any good?
It's okay. It's fine. But there's a scene where they sort of get left out into the swamp areas, and they come across an encampment, and they're like taking clothes off because they need to change of clothes, so they're taking clothes off the clothesline, and these two friggin' Peckerwoods with shotguns, like, "What are you doing? You're stealing our clothes." And he's like, "Oh, because I'm black, I'll have you know, I took this black sweatshirt out of my black closet from my black home this morning." And then Will Smith is like, look, and he looks down and it says like white power or something like that. He's like, what? I can't wear a white power?
Oh my god!
Thank you, Mike.
Wow.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not 4 stars, but it's worth a watch. And
It's a
free.
popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on Netflix, so it's free.
At some point, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I like the first two.
Yeah.
There's another one coming too, by the way.
Another Bad Boys? Oh.
One more, yeah.
All right. Silence is Not Golden. Full House. I was never a big Full House person, and I actually have that in my top 5 for tonight.
I did actually really enjoy the original and the Fuller House.
Oh, okay.
But then again, it's because I like Dave Coulier. He's funny.
He is funny, and I like his impressions and stuff. But
he does. Did you know he's the one who did the looping for Richard Pryor for TV movies?
Oh, he did the voice.
He did
when they had
he did the ADR for Richard Pryor.
Huh.
And I was like,
Dave Coulier did?
yeah,
That's pretty.
That's
I mean, if nothing else on your resume,
yeah, that's
right.
Cool.
you did ADR for Richard Pryor, and you're a white Canadian dude. Yeah,
in a hockey shirt.
yeah, and with a mullet, no less.
The mullet. Jeez. So they, in that episode, Silence is Not Golden, Stephanie, who was the precocious middle daughter, I think, is paired up with her school nemesis, Charles, not me, on a school project. He comes to her house to work on it, and Stephanie finds out that his father physically abuses him, but she is sworn to secrecy, and then at some point she lets it out and lets I think Uncle Jesse know, and Uncle Jesse calls the cops, and they confront the guy, and the dad was hurting the kid, and he kills exactly.
Fun fact, me and Dave Coulier share a birthday.
Oh, nice.
He's like 20 years older than me.
Yeah. Do you know how he's doing with his cancer stuff right now?
I only found out about this like 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's absolutely one of my favorite actors from the 80s.
All right. And the guy that pushed Alanis Morissette into writing a song about going down on people in a
She wrote an entire album about him.
Oh, jeez.
The entire album is about him.
I didn't know that was that same guy.
Jagged Little Pill is all about Dave. Yeah. The whole album.
It's like, damn, bro.
I mean,
well, she just hadn't met us yet.
Yeah.
Now that she listens to the program,
get a double album.
It was
going to be a double album.
It was after she was on. It was after she was on. You Can't Do That television, but before he was on Full House.
Is she a childhood TV person?
Yeah,
she is. Yeah.
She was on like season 6 of You Can't Do That on television.
I didn't know.
On Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Geez, first I saw her was Dogma.
And she probably did some like other Canadian TV back in the 80s as a kid.
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. She didn't like get huge in the States until she was a singer.
Did she have a pop album before Jagged Little Pill? A Canadian pop album?
I don't know. That's the only album of hers I've ever listened to. So
it was her and Anne Murray doing Sabbath covers.
No, her, Anne Murray, and Bryan Adams.
War Pigs.
You don't say the B word in my presence. He's a kill on sight.
And that was after she did
Bryan
that.
Adams is
And
kill
that was
on
after
sight.
she did that. She did that compilation for Rush.
I consider Bryan Adams the Hitler of the airwaves.
Jeez.
People really shit on him back in the day. I didn't hate his music, but damn, dude.
He's like
everything I do it for you.
Hey,
that's why aneurysm skyrocketed when that guy came around.
I can tell you right now.
Tried to defend itself in any way possible, including death.
On a scale from Anne Marie to Justin Bieber, he is nowhere in between those two. He is so much better than both of them combined.
Oh my god!
He sold so many records.
I
bet he sold 500 million records. I bet he's real close.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So bad.
He's still touring too, by the way.
There was a ton of Full House episodes that would fit this category, but I just picked out one. Family Ties, my first of 2 Family Ties, I think. One called Say Uncle. This guest starred Tom Hanks as Uncle Ned, who I think was the mom's brother.
Yeah.
And he was a little drinker.
He was an alcoholic, folks.
He's an alcoholic. So, I mean, up so much to the fact that he drank like a bottle of vanilla extract in the kitchen in front of Alex. And Alex says, you drank a whole bottle of vanilla extract.
Yeah,
what do you mean you don't have a problem? He's like, what? Did you want some? You know, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So they deal with that whole storyline.
That's the kind of alcoholic my grandfather was.
Oh, man.
My dad's dad. My dad told me once that the reason why he died is because he was such an alcoholic and so poor that he would buy bottles of wood alcohol And
geez, that's terrible.
He died because that was the year that my dad says anyway, they changed the formula what alcohol is made so people wouldn't drink it. And made it poisonous, so he drank it and it pickled his insides.
Yeah, so
they switched the type from ethanol to
something that was not good for you. It would like dehydrate your innards.
My God. Well, Alex tries to convince the whole family that Uncle Ned's got a drinking problem. The rest of the family is like, no, he's just having a good time. It's all good.
Yeah, he's charming.
Until
there can't be anything wrong.
It's Tom Hanks, folks. Come on.
Tom Hanks in an early TV role. I don't know if he had done Buzzes, so this is 1984.
And the Dungeons and Dragons.
That was
after?
That was around the same time, I think, if not before or after. I mean,
something like that.
I mean, yeah, Bosom Buddies was definitely one of my favorite shows as a kid. I thought that show was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's not Yakov Smirnoff. Who's that? It's
Peter
Scolari and Tom Hanks.
Sure.
And Deborah.
I was thinking Perfect Strangers. Yeah.
Yes. With Bronson Pinchot and can't remember the other guy's name. Uncle Larry. Or Cousin Larry.
Cousin Larry. Both of them were on a TV show recently. They made an appearance.
And he was the dad on She-Hulk. Not Pinson.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
not
it was on,
Bronson Pinchot.
No, the other guy. Yeah, Cousin Larry.
Yeah, he played She-Hulk's dad, right?
Yeah.
Good to see he's still working.
And Bronson Pinchot also shows up in Axel F. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching.
I did watch. That's the other one I did watch.
And what do you think?
And I thought it was good. I didn't think
fantastic.
It was brilliant, but I thought it was good.
I would say it's better than 2 and 3.
I don't know about 2. It's been years. 3 for sure. 3 was just god awful.
What are we talking about?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
the newest one is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, it came out like right before the guy who played one of the detectives.
The chief of police.
He's the current chief of police.
Yeah, the older detective that he partnered up with in the first couple movies. Third one, I just remember being just like, what?
That's the one that were at like Knott's Berry Farm, right?
Yeah, it was like a fake Disneyland or whatever, and he had to save the kid from the Ferris wheel or the carousel or whatever. It's just bad. But this one was good.
I really enjoyed.
I thought the storyline was a little with the daughter thing. They could. I don't know. Maybe they could. Maybe I needed to pay more attention. I was like, okay, he had a kid, but they never mentioned the kid.
He had a kid in like
between 3 and 4.
Yeah. And he was not a very present father.
Yeah, that's right.
And
but Paul Reiser makes an appearance.
Yeah.
He's in it for a few scenes.
Did you know that they did a Mad About You revival series too?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I watched a clip of it. I was like, man, Helen Hunt really needs better dentures.
No. I don't know.
They look terrible.
Yeah, I didn't really watch that show when it was.
And I can see that, folks. I have missing teeth.
I don't remember watching that show very much. Mad About It.
I liked it. I don't remember much about it.
He's great in Aliens.
Well, that's
as
right.
the corporate shill or whatever.
Perfect in that.
Perfect.
Role. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah. Boys, speaking of addiction, growing pains, we kind of talked about this a little bit. I think 1987 there was an episode called "Thank God It's Friday," and I remember watching this one. And Kirsty Swanson, who is a MAGA crazy, but just gorgeous lady. Mike and his friends run into an old high school friend that was like a year or two older and convinces him to take them to a college party. And at the college party, everyone wants to do a little blow, a little
booger sugar,
Bolivian marching powder,
booger sugar.
And so they try to convince, let's go to the bathroom and do this blow, Mike, do this cocaine. And he struggles because he's like, we'll do the cocaine and then you'll get in the hot tub with all these hot chicks, right? And I'm thinking,
yeah, is there a downside?
Where's the downside?
You might want more later.
Yeah.
Like of the chicks in the hot tub?
It's a very expensive habit to have.
Oh, yeah. No, you want them. Yeah, that's the trouble. Therein lies the rub.
What was that Dennis Leary joke? If, cocaine's so addicting and stuff that if Hitler was in the bathroom with cocaine, there'd be Jews in there going, yeah, I love Goebbels.
Goebbels?
Fucking, I don't remember what the joke is, but it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that's kind of the addiction, right? Yeah, so he ends up not doing the cocaine. He leaves the party. He goes home. He gets busted by the late, great Alan Thicke, who plays his dad.
Oh, is Alan Thicke dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
He died like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, so he comes in the door, and then Alan Thicke's there like, Mike, you did it. Yeah. You're late again. You broke curfew. And then he explains to his dad what had happened, and his dad's proud of him, and it's all forgiven. He starts to go to bed, turns around, gives his dad a big hug. So it's that good moment. And then I guess Boner and his other buddy, Eddie or somebody, called the house and said, we didn't go to the bathroom either, meaning that they didn't do the cocaine too. So the show ends, you're back at the party, everybody's milling around, then everybody suddenly stops and looks at the camera, and then Kirk Cameron walks out, sits on a table and says, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I don't want to do drugs, so neither should you, kind of a thing.
Sure. And
little
Kirk
PSA.
Cameron was Mike then?
That was Mike Seaver, yeah.
Okay, so he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, the whole party scene does.
I don't know. That's
no, it's not bad. But I remember that.
I think that was right towards the end of that series too. Like
it might have been.
He's 32 or something. At that point, right?
And this is when he really went over the edge with his.
Yeah, I forgot that he was the kid on that show.
Yeah, and they're big on so. When Mike Seaver, Kirk Cameron, and Jeremy, whatever the younger brother, when they sort of started aging up, they needed the cute kid again. So first they bring in Leonardo DiCaprio as one of Mike's students, who's like kind of in foster care or something, so the family kind of adopts him for a little while, and then the mom has another baby, which is a girl, and she's been in a lot of stuff too.
She's been in the MCU.
That's right. What was she?
She was like a blonde girl who was in I think the first Avengers movie. Who was like, "Thank you."
But curly headed, cute little thing that quickly ages.
Would have been better if it was somebody from Wakanda. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been awesome, right?
She was from Wakanda,
but she's like one of the ones that like Brian Bonsell from Family Ties, where they age him like 4 years in like half a season, or the next season suddenly they're 4 years old.
In the season following, where the mom gets pregnant, has a baby. The season that follows that, she's like.
They do at times
5 or 6.
Yeah, none of the other kids get any older, but the baby grows 5 years. And
maybe she was like 4 or 5. But either way, she went from being a baby to a toddler. To a toddler,
yeah. And then Mike Seaver, Kirk Cameron, became a born again Christian during the production of that show. Last few seasons of it.
The last season, I think. Yeah.
And said, I don't want to do kissing scenes. I don't want to do there was a scene where he was supposed to wake up in bed with his girlfriend there. He's like, I'm not doing that.
He actually got the girl who played his girlfriend in the series. He got her fired.
Yeah, because she posed for Playboy. Blonde gal, Julie something.
I don't remember, but
she posed for Playboy, and when he found out, he's like, she needs to go.
Clean up our image.
We need to do a breakup on that. Yeah.
And the kid from 2.5 Men also went born again, and that's why his character disappeared. Towards the end.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to live their life to some standard, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But forcing somebody to live that life by their standard is different.
Well, that's why I kind of lost, because, she did the pose for Playboy and stuff, and he didn't want to be associated with her, but he basically cost her a job. He was the star of the show.
Yeah. At that point, he was the...
He was the draw.
He even, made...
Because he was the team.
Alan Thicke had to donate blood to him weekly, I heard. He has a giant pool of Alan Thicke's blood.
So that Kirk Cameron, he could bathe in it and retain his youthful appearance.
Did you ever see Kirk Cameron's video, his proof for why God exists?
No.
And the whole thing with the banana?
I'll have to watch that.
Look it up. It's
the banana?
Yeah, it's like, it's intelligent design. This is proof that God exists.
Because it's an appeal?
Yeah, how it peels, and it's perfect, and how it opens and whatever else. Yeah, it's just...
I remember there. I think it was Politically Incorrect or something like that. They had
Bill Maher,
Neil deGrasse Tyson, and one of the guys from Hillside Church, which was that big church that Bieber was involved in and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But they were having a debate on stuff, and the guy brought up intelligent design, and Tyson was like, "All right, how's this for intelligent design? If you're telling me that God put the pleasure center right next to the waste disposal, how intelligent was that?" And that always kind of stuck with me.
I think it's Stephen Baldwin might have been on that, because that was...
Yeah, I remember it was one of the preachers, and that preacher ended up getting busted for having an affair with somebody that worked at the church. I can't remember his name, but he was like one of those hip pastors.
Youth pastor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big show, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Justin Bieber married his daughter, Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah. Geez, moving on, Webster. You guys remember Webster?
Yeah, I follow him on TikTok.
Oh, nice. They had an episode 1985 called The Uh-Oh Feeling. Webster basically overhears his a substitute teacher, which you never see. You only hear his voice from off screen, talking to a girl student and trying to tickle her and be like, "Hey, come give me a hug. Give me a big hug. Oh, yeah, put, all that stuff into just gross." And he worries because he's got a meeting upcoming with the teacher the next day, and he doesn't want to go through what this girl kind of had to go through. He actually saves her, kind of. She's in the room with him, and he kind of knocks on the door and he says, "Oh, hey, Janie, so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so are all waiting for you. Mom's here. We got to go." Kind of thing. So she's like, "Oh, I gotta go," and she's able to kind of run out of the room.
Jeez, good call.
Good call, Webster. Yeah. Good thinking.
Oh, Webster.
So then, because he's so nervous about meeting with the teacher the next day, he goes and tells his parents, his adopted parents, what he saw, and then they take care of business.
Nice.
So, and that was George. He's an old football player. Who's the dad in that? Georgia?
I don't remember.
Kanakis or something. I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember he looked like a football player.
Yeah, he's a big dude. One of those old 50s, 60s football player guys. We talked about this. The Punky Brewster Cherry Lifesaver is the title. 1986. Henry, the dad, Punky Brewster's adopted dad, reluctantly buys a new refrigerator, and then he puts the old one back out on the street. And I got a feeling, because you were like, who does this, right? I think back in the old days that people just put shit out on the street. So that
somebody could come and get it,
just take it away.
Waste disposal would pick those types of things up and take them to the dump.
Probably, and so you would leave it out, especially like in a big city. Weren't they in New York or something?
Yeah.
They just push it to the curb and leave it there, and that might have been what is. So I remember the advertisement is like, take your refrigerator door off or break the handle so it can't close.
Yep.
I think they were like Staten Island or some shit like that.
Something like that,
Upper crust New York neighborhood.
So he buys a new refrigerator, puts the old one in the backyard. Mike, who's the teacher on the show, teaches CPR to all the kids in class, but Alan, the little blonde-haired boy, he goose off, and he's sent to the principal office, so he doesn't know CPR.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, later in the show, the kids are all playing hide-and-seek, and Cherry hides in the fridge and suffocates.
That's fucked up.
They open up the door. She kind of plops out, and Alan doesn't know what to do because he was screwing around in class.
No way.
So he doesn't know CPR.
Pretty fucking thick.
Thankfully, Henry and Punky and some other kid come out, and Henry's like, "Go call 911 or call the ambulance," and they're able to give her CPR and resuscitate her.
Oh, okay.
So Sherry's fine. Yeah.
Died.
Oh no. Oh no, not on Punky Brewster.
No,
that's what I'm talking about. I was all mad.
Peacock actually did a revival series, and they mentioned this episode on the new series.
And the door's all scratched.
So, in the revival series, Punky becomes fuck, I hate when this happens. where it takes in like kids who are in the system and foster. Thank you. She becomes a foster parent, and there's an episode where something similar happens. It's like, I remember when this happened with Sherry back when we were
kids. Man, yeah. I got to mention this because there's another one with Punky Brewster that came out a year before this. So the refrigerator thing was bad enough, but a whole year before that, there was an episode called Just Say No, where Punky and Cherry are admitted into a clique at school, so all the cool girls, only to find out that they use drugs and want them to do so also. So they end up using Punky Brewster's treehouse as their sort of club, but then they break out the drugs, and I didn't watch the episode, but the person describing the episode said they broke out a bunch of drugs that would make Hunter S. Thompson jealous, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So joints and pills and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, holy shit, these kids are playing hide and seek a year later and getting stuck in refrigerators. But the year before that, they're doing coke and pills and shit.
Uppers and downers and Quaaludes and all the other things you see on Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah. So this show actually ends. So Punky Brewster, Soleil
Moon
Frye, and the gal that played Cherry were both big in the Just Say No movement. So they would do a lot of parades and public functions where they come out and talk to kids, don't do drugs, say no, blah, blah, blah. So the show actually ends with like a montage of these actors at different parades and different things,
What's really funny is those kids were all doing drugs.
I don't know.
Off air. There's a documentary on Hulu where she recorded, she had a camcorder back in those days, and she recorded everything.
God, how old was she in the mid 80s? Was she like early teens?
She was our age. She can give or take a year.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, geez.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She talks about dating Charlie Sheen in that documentary.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if you just get a contact high from being within 5 feet of Charlie Sheen.
He was also like a predator too.
Oh, she was?
He was.
Oh, Charlie Sheen. Yeah,
Charlie Sheen was.
I could see that. Yeah. Lastly, on my list of special episodes, My Name is Alex, the Family Ties one. Todd mentioned this earlier. 1987, Alex's friend dies in an accident. It turns out that Alex is questioning his own sort of existence because
morality.
He was late getting to the guy's place. He was supposed to help this guy run some errands, and he's like, "No, well, just go by yourself." And the guy left and got into the accident. So Alex is like, "Man, I was supposed to be there." He blames himself that he wasn't part of it. Yeah. So while everybody else is kind of dealing with the grief and stuff, because this was like Alex's childhood friend and stuff, he can't come to grips with all of his stuff. And by halfway through the episode, he sort of breaks down. And then the second half of the hour is him in a dark space, kind of picture Our Town, like a stage production.
Sure.
Talking to a therapist, talking to a psychologist or something like that. So it was an interesting episode the way they do it. I remember seeing it when it came out, but I couldn't tell you exactly what. I just remember.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah. The family would come out and they would interact a little bit, but it was like a stage production. A lot of dark background and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was kind of a cool little thing. And
they pitched that,
and no commercial breaks for that last half hour. So kind of a fun thing. Not fun, but kind of an interesting thing anyway. That came out.
Yeah, how come they don't have how to do your taxes? Special episode. Yeah.
How to put the dishes away.
Yeah.
How to feed yourself. How to make scrambled eggs.
You know what I mean. It's always like heavy stuff.
I'm with you, man. Yeah. Teach some basics, man. Yeah. Because, I mean, you could watch the show on CPR with the gal that gets stuck in the refrigerator, but if you don't practice it, you don't take the training.
It's been a while for me. I'm supposed to at work, which is nice. Yeah. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
It's a chance, right?
Yeah.
But
for sure. Boys, also kind of in this, and I think I mentioned this before, but after school specials. So these were definitely geared towards those special messages.
Yeah.
And ABC, CBS, and NBC all had their own version of this. ABC had the after school special, I think is the most famous one. It ran on ABC from 1972 to 1997.
It maybe once a year, a quarterly, or something?
I think they did it
every other week or something like that.
Yeah, they did a lot more. There's a lot of episodes.
All right.
Okay.
Some of them you can actually find. I don't remember which version of it is, but on Plex.tv, they have like all the ones they have on there are the ones that are related to like drug abuse and like. There was one I think about a kid who was depressed and was contemplating and whatnot, and
suicide and stuff like that. They would do abusers, and they would do people being pressured into having sex, and all kinds.
There was lots of ones about sex and drugs. There was one I remember, and it was fucking weird. It was about this kid who was like his parents were, especially his mom, was not really good to him, and he had issues with his bladder or whatever, and he would frequently wet the bed, and he would run home after school to make sure that his mom hadn't put his sheets out on the outside his bedroom window
to embarrass him,
to air out and to embarrass him.
Oh man, jeez. NBC had
he needs to learn how to do his own fucking laundry.
Yeah,
that should be the lesson of that program. Then nobody cares.
Well,
you know what I mean? Clean up yourself, and nobody
don't embarrass somebody.
Being shamed by your parents is not a.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, no. It's not helpful, and the goal is to help something.
To get something going. Some of these actually, I don't remember which one, but some of these started out with like they would do almost like a not a serial, but they would like the same actors and everything for like 4 or 5 episodes. So
anthology is what you're for,
like a mini series kind of a thing, but anyway,
actors come back and play different parts and different characters.
No, I think it was same characters. Like there was one, and I don't know if it was CBS did the. I know Danny Bonaducci was in. So anyway, so NBC had their own called Special Treat, ran from 1975 to 86. In 86, they got rid of the dramatic portion of it, and then Bryant Gumbel had a show where he would bring in teens and they would discuss like stuff that teens want to discuss.
Jeez,
right?
That's something.
So, and then CBS started in 78 to 96. They had the school break special. So I don't remember a lot of those, but pretty much what Todd was saying, that they were, little episodes.
They were like a morality thing.
Yeah. I didn't know this because I always thought that this was an after. I just included this because I just remember it. But Maureen McCormick was in what I thought was an after school special, but it wasn't. It was on a series called Insight, which was a Catholic American religious themed weekly anthology series in syndication from 1960 to 83. So I just remember seeing this where it's called When Jenny When from 1979. Marcia Brady herself, who was probably 22 at the time, playing a high school girl. All the boys consider Pretty Jenny an easy lay. But one shy jock has a crush on the insecure girl and risks his athletic future by standing up for her. Jenny allows the boys to take advantage of her because she loves sex and doesn't like to be alone. Olivia Cole plays her guidance counselor who helps Jenny realize that sex is a shared extension of one's inner beauty, the true meaning of what it is to love. But I remember like her in like a baby doll outfit in the back of a van waiting for some dude to come in and do the business, right?
Discuss the Bible.
Exactly. Discuss the Bible in great detail. Old Testament mostly. But I always thought that, because I had this in my mind from seeing it, right? And this is a Catholic developed episode.
Sure.
I don't remember seeing any of the other episodes, but I always thought this was an after-school special. I had it in my mind that this had to have been an out, and I've always looked for, like, remember that one that Marsha Brady was in? And then I found it last night from IMDb, and that's what it was. So,
And what was the name of the series?
Insight.
Insight.
Yeah.
See?
Ran in syndication 60 to 83.
Apparently, a lot of the after-school specials are available on YouTube. If you
Oh, nice.
the ABC after-school special, "The Day My Kid Went Punk."
Yes, I remember
Oh,
that.
man, I'm right.
I remember reading about that one. Yeah.
Hey, my kid went.
Yeah.
Like, what year is that from?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, it's got to be mid-'80s probably. A little punk rocker. Jeez.
Back when people thought punkers were all like skinheads and shit.
Yeah. They're going down and causing mayhem. Breaking shit.
They're all anarchists, man.
Breaking shit. Boys, that's pretty much what I got for the special episodes. Were there any other episodes that you guys can remember? Any other shows that had special
not
episodes?
Well, kind of, but the Who Shot JR thing.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but
that was like
it was a phenom or whatever,
That was-
right? And
That's right up there with like who killed Mr. Burns.
Well, and that was a ripoff, right?
That was a spoof, yeah.
Yeah, the Dallas.
and I guess big event.
And then
right?
the dude that also Dallas when the guy gets killed off, but then he comes back to the show after a year and he's in the shower and the whole fucking season was a dream. Do you remember that?
No
it was
way.
Bobby Ewing who dies in the one season.
Patrick Duffy.
Patrick Duffy.
Oh, yeah.
They go a whole fucking season with him being dead. They do all these things, right? This whole storylines, and then one day his wife wakes up and she hears the shower running, and she walks in and pulls the curtain, and it's him. Hey, how's it going? What's up? You know?
Okay, and she had just dreamt that whole.
And she had dreamt the whole fucking season. It's almost like the
Is
St.
that
Elsewhere.
clever or a cop out?
I don't know if they just like
comic books do it all the
really
time.
wanted him back on the show. Maybe he was the draw.
They were going to get that kid.
Danny Cooksey.
Yeah.
He just wasn't available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then there's like the season finale for MASH.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we could do a whole episode on finale. Good
yeah.
and bad
But
finale.
what were some other specials? Were the Star Wars holiday special?
Holiday special,
Big
which
special stuff, right?
you could go listen to right now,
could.
our radio parody
Yes.
on the YouTubes.
Ours is way better than the actual
I
Star
think
Wars holiday special.
I think so.
It's done with a lot of heart.
Seriously though,
It's got
I mean,
heart.
have you tried watching the original holiday special?
It's bad.
It's on YouTube if you really want to watch it, but I don't recommend it because it will ruin your childhood.
Between that and the Donny Osmond, Donnie Marie
Sure,
with
stuff like that.
with God, the guy that just passed away, Whistler.
Oh yeah. Well, they did the Star Wars.
They
thing.
did the Star Wars thing.
I recently watched that. I was like, that is not at all what I remember from the Donnie Marie show. It wasn't. I mean, for me, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And they
had a whole family band or something too, didn't
Well,
they?
on top of that,
the Osmonds,
I don't know that it was all the boys. Was the Osmonds?
Yeah.
Marie wasn't, and Donnie
the-
was the youngest.
It was the older brothers who had the Osmonds band.
Yeah,
It was like a '60s boy band.
I think
whatever.
the Jacksons, right? So
They were
had
like they were the Jehovah's Witness version. Oh no, the Mormon version of
the Jacksons,
The Jackson
who were the
Five.
Jehovah's Witness.
who were the
version of
Jehovah's
Jacksons.
Witnesses. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then Michael Janet and some of the other younger ones weren't a part of the Jackson 5 until they were. And then
Yeah.
Janet had her own. But Donnie and Marie, they had their own special.
I remember
Max,
watching the
sorry,
Donnie
yeah.
Marie show. That was one of the things we watched every week at my house. My
I
mom-
remember having a huge crush on Marie Osmond.
Yeah.
No, she fit the times. Just great.
She's still attractive, but she's really religious, so that doesn't do anything for me.
I heard she killed a guy in Singapore.
Yeah. Watched him
Right
bleed
there.
to death.
Jeez.
I heard that she was a CIA operative.
Yeah. Well, both those could be true.
Yeah. And at the same time, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah. Any other?
Geez, I don't know.
Special episodes that jump out.
Special episodes. Yeah, the last MASH for sure. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a huge deal.
That was huge.
I think that the final episode of the Wonder Years was also a pretty big thing too, but I don't remember anything about it, to be honest.
I remember because they at the end they were all standing on the street corner watching the 4th of July fireworks or whatever, and then Daniel Stern?
Yeah, the voiceover.
Does the voiceover.
Yeah.
He's talking about how the old man died a couple years later,
right?
And
Yeah.
His older brother took over the furniture business, and he never got back together with Winnie Cooper. But he got married.
Did you guys ever see the reboot of the Wonder Years?
I haven't yet. I think you did.
Narrated by Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that show a lot.
It was really good, and the thing that was cool about it is it's not like they changed the original family. It is a different family taken from the same time frame.
Yeah, it's great. There's
they live down the street or something
of crossover.
There is
really
a crossover because the older brother from the original series, who was in the military, when he came back, and one of his buddies had died in action. And that's
Winnie's brother.
Winnie's older brother.
Yeah.
Winnie's older brother.
Yep. I thought that was really neat.
And Winnie's older brother was a friend of the older brother who comes back. No, wait a minute. I'm getting confused. In the original series, Winnie's brother is the one who dies in the war. And in the new series, the older brother comes back from the war, and you find out that Winnie's brother was his best friend.
Over in Vietnam.
And before
just in life.
In life, but they became really close, I guess.
Okay.
Over there, and there's an episode where the older brother who comes back from the war goes to the funeral for Winnie's brother.
Oh, all right.
And you don't see any of the kids from the other series, of course, because they're all in their 50s now, or 40s, whatever.
Yeah, right on. So much TV. I know there's a ton of like Christmas episodes that everybody does. Every show had Simpsons does it every year.
Yeah.
No, they do Halloween every year.
They do Halloween every year, but they also do something on Christmas too, don't they?
I don't know. I haven't watched the show.
No, they don't do like a holiday special every year, but they always do something with Christmas.
They do the Treehouse of Horror for sure every year, which is a special episode.
And then actually, Roseanne also did a Halloween episode every year, too.
Yeah, Roseanne had a very special episode, too. I guess DJ, their son, when he's younger, maybe in elementary school still, maybe middle school, he's trying to do like a school play or a classroom production or something where he's got to kiss a girl. And he doesn't want to kiss the girl. He doesn't want to kiss the girl. He doesn't want to kiss the girl. And they're like, "What's the big deal? Like, are you gay maybe, or what's going on?" And it turns out the girl is black, and that's why DJ doesn't want to kiss her. So it
racist piece of shit.
Yeah. So it makes Dan and Roseanne sort of question their own bigotries and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's
nice.
What's kind of funny with that is in the Connors, at the beginning of the Connors, he has a black wife and a black daughter.
Man.
A mixed daughter.
So maybe that was a play on I don't know.
And the thing is those characters only make an appearance like 3 times tops.
Yeah. Is the Connors any good?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Actually, I think...
Is it still on?
It's still on. I think it's on its last season, but it's still on.
How many seasons? So when they rebooted, was it called Roseanne again?
Yeah.
And she lasted, what, a season?
1 season, and she had her little Ambien like attack or whatever.
That she says she did? Yeah.
Like, it was because I was on Ambien. No, you're just a racist piece of shit. But, she got killed off like halfway through the season, I think, and then the show came back
as the Connors
because she had passed away, and the first season of it is just them dealing with the loss of their mom and wife or whatever.
And all the rest of the characters are on.
Everybody else came back at least once.
Johnny
Galecki makes an appearance 2 or 3 times, and he's not a regular, but he's on there a few times. Plus, he was also doing his last season of The Big Bang Theory at that point.
Okay. Yeah, I remember watching Roseanne back in the day, but not regularly.
I liked it. I thought it was, for me anyway, it was very similar to my family upbringing. The family was not like we were not the Cleavers. We weren't we weren't even the Bundys, man. We were way more dysfunctional than the Bundys. But yeah, I think my mom really liked Roseanne because she kind of identified with her. But
working class,
blue collar.
Yeah.
Although my mom was a little bit higher up than working class, but she worked for the state for like the last 40 years of her life. So
yeah, all right. Boys, sharing is a Karen. We haven't done this quite a bit.
Sharon is Karen?
Sharing is a Karen.
Who's Sharon and why is she a Karen?
What did she do? Anything new going on? Any shows, stuff you watched? I kind of mentioned a couple of them.
Skeleton Crew on Disney Plus.
Yeah, really I have not watched. I watched the first episode.
It's basically Goonies in space.
Yeah,
it's really good. I really like it.
Yeah. I watched it up until the kids. I think his first episode, they launch themselves into hyperspace.
The kid thinks it's like a Jedi temple, and it turns out to be just a spaceship that's buried in the dirt. And it takes off.
It must have been there for a long ass time too.
I think there's a little. I'm still kind of figuring out what's going on, but I think there's some time travel happening here because it's like they show up at a planet that looks just like theirs, except for it's like all like hundreds of years old and there's nobody around, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the planet that the kids start out on is very like suburban America. People walking their dogs and sidewalks and lights. And
the planet's called Aten, which in itself is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to jump back into it.
It's good. I enjoy it. See, episode 4 just came out yesterday, so
okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait till it's all done.
It should be like 8 episodes, maybe 10 tops.
All right. 2
more episodes.
Too early to compare it to anything else.
I mean, it's like I said,
it's a better Acolyte.
I'm liking it better than Acolyte, but then again, I can identify with at least some of the characters. But I didn't hate Acolyte. I didn't.
And you're a big Goonies fan, so if it's kind of Goonies in space,
it has a Goonies kind of feel to it because you're in suburban
kids doing an adventure.
Yeah, and it's like there's the robot. His name is SM-33, Smee, and he talks like a pirate. Which in itself is funny. So I mean, it's I don't know. It's Jude Law, and Jude Law doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen him do anything bad. So
yeah,
nice.
I can't think of anything bad that he's done.
And some outstanding stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the kids, I don't recognize any of the kids or anything else, but it's so far I'm enjoying it.
All right. What about you, Mike? What's been new in your groovy world?
Stuff.
Any new podcasts or anything you've been listening to?
I did. What was it? God, I can't remember the name of it now. But so I'm finishing up a second season of a cool one. Whose name I can't remember at this point.
Okay.
But and what else? I'm working the door at Tim's for New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's doing the New Year's Eve show?
It's like 6 bands, but it's 38 Coffin and Jackson Blood's band. And it'll be cool.
Where's Tim's at?
It's White Center.
Okay.
Right on that nice strip in White
right
Center.
there. Yeah, boop. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that's new is I finally got my HasLab 2 in the box. So it's
you did.
You did. Yeah,
it's
whatever.
sitting back there.
I can't use my Jedi mind tricks to get it.
I'll grab it.
Yeah.
I'll grab it.
Yeah, geez. I watched the Axel Foley. I watched the Bad Boys. Those are kind of the two.
That's fine.
New for me, anyway. Other than that, Netflix keeps throwing these movies at me saying, this leaving Netflix December 31st. It's just a bunch of random... I thought that was the bell at the front door.
Everything's pretty neat.
What? Take a look.
Pretty neat. Oh, geez.
So the EMF on this actually works? The EMF
it does, actually. Let me turn that on.
I know. You do the things.
It's got a switch on the bottom where it's off, and then EMF, and then on. So the middle one is EMF. And all you got to do to get it to start up is hit one of the buttons, and it'll start up, and it will immediately start. The quicker and the louder it gets, the closer it is to.
So it's picking up.
It's picking up all this stuff here. So if you take it and walk away from anything electronic, it will slow down, and the arms will come down. But if you want to do it, you can actually hit the button. It'll make them come down.
That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Are you in contact with our friends from Coastal Paranormal? Are you planning on doing any more?
I haven't talked to them since they came out for our 100th episode.
Right.
Stop it. There we go.
Well, maybe cut something.
But it's so this is only one half of what I got. This is the PKE meter, which is it's styled after the most recent movies. It's got the teaser mode on it too, so I can turn it on and get it going. You can press and hold the button; it'll cause the lights to speed up, and then if you hold it down too long, it will actually overheat and shut down. But there's a switch on the bottom here. Open that up, push it forward, and it becomes teaser mode.
Nice.
So yeah. And then the other half of this is a ghost trap. And these two actually I only found this out yesterday after I've had it for like a day and a half. This actually has like an infrared transmitter, and the trap has a receiver, so that when you have them both turned on, you can hit buttons on this and it will interact with the trap, and sounds will come from the trap like it's a ghost or whatever.
All right.
And the trap comes with the cable and the pedal, so you can toss it out and hit the button on the pedal, and it'll open up and it lights up and makes all kinds of noise.
Nice.
And then when you close it, after a minute, it starts beeping, and then you can hear like various ghost sounds coming from it.
That's fun.
And you can change the sound effects on it based on the first and second movie. And I think the third movie has some sound effects in there too. There's these metal bars on the side of the trap. First movie, they're red. Second movie, they're kind of a silver color. You can swap them out, and it changes the sound effects. And
man, they thought of everything.
I know. That's really nice.
God, I would hope so. It was like $350 for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
it took what
a year.
Year to get.
How many are made total? Not that many.
I don't know, like 30,000 of them. I think.
Oh, geez, that surprises me.
Something like I could be wrong. I'm just throwing out a number because it sounds right. But no, it literally took a year and like a month before we start getting them. And once I got the tracking information for the package, it was like next day I got it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it was just waiting for it. I'd open up the Hasbro Pulse app to see is it processing, what's going on, and it would say pending. And I was like, why is it still pending? It should have been sent out by now. And then click on the link, and it takes you to it left. Actually, I think it came from New Jersey, but maybe that's why all those drones are out there. But
oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
dudes. All I saw were the size of a school bus.
Dudes.
I'm all, no, you didn't.
You mean that 737 that flew overhead?
Like that doesn't exist on Earth.
The thing that cracks me up are people like, I saw a UFO and it had red and green blinking lights. It's like, that wasn't the UFO. But no, the current crowdfunding thing that Hasbro has is a replica of the car. It's like this big.
Oh, geez.
And it's like
a big die-cast kind of thing.
It's got
Ecto-1.
It's bells and whistles, and depending on which version if you buy the base model, it's like $300. If you get the deluxe one, it's like nearly $600.
Jeez.
And it comes with everything.
Is it based on the original movie?
It has
Ecto-1, or
it has pieces for both of the original
so you can
movies.
Swap it out.
So you can make it look like Ecto-1A, which is the second movie, or you can make it look like the original Ecto. And I think there's also things that allow it to look like the one from Afterlife, which is the one where you see the gunner seat. So,
jeez, if you didn't know, Todd is a huge Ghostbusters nerd.
Yeah.
I am what they call a ghost head.
Yeah. So that's why we get to share in his fandom.
I my nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
I bring home from home.
Yeah, we're right on, guys. Folks, this is going to come out a little bit before Christmas and Hanukkah. So
day before Christmas.
I guess it would be Tuesday's the 24th, huh?
Yeah.
They call that Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this around the holidays, thank you so much for watching, and we wish you the best holidays.
And this is year 2 for us too, right?
Yeah, we're starting into year 3.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
25 will be year
Should
3.
we sing that weird song of "Do They Know It's Christmas in Africa" just to put everybody in the mood? Wait, what?
Do they?
No.
Oh my God!
No, we won't.
We won't do that.
We
won't do that.
That's like I have the South Park Christmas album, and there's an episode. There's a song on there where Mr. Garrison's talking about all the countries that don't celebrate Christmas, and why wouldn't they? It's the greatest holiday ever. It's fucking hilarious.
Nice. And
Merry fucking Christmas.
I'm thinking next week, boys, when we record, that show will come out like on the 30th, right? Then
we should.
That kind of? I was thinking about doing a 2024 in review. So we can talk about all the crazy news stories, all the memes, all the crap, all the good things, if there are any, just whatever you guys can think of from 2024. And I don't know, Mike, if you have it. I know Todd does on his Spotify, where you can get like your top list. I can do it on Apple Music and my Alexa, which I already know.
I wonder. I don't have premium.
You don't have to have premium to have Wrapped. You do not.
Oh, there you go.
If you log into it from from your phone, it will give you your Spotify Wrapped. I have it. I didn't really use Spotify that much this year, so
okay.
I had the most I listened to Spotify was in September, apparently, because that was when I got all the stats.
All the stats. Yeah, mine is Apple Music, so I get year in review. So it tells me, I've listened to like 1,700 hours of Van Halen. And
I think I could probably look at the stats for my Plex, because I listen to a lot of my music off of my Plex server.
Yeah, so bring that information. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the top movies of the year, our favorites and stuff like that.
I have to go back and look at what existed this year.
Yeah, because I can't even remember.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember what I watched.
52 of our programs in the next week.
It's only 50, probably 100 hours of stuff, Mike. All right, well...
Also, we're on Blue Sky, so go follow us.
Oh yeah, follow us on Blue Sky. Do all the socials, do the Instagrams, the Facebook, but Blue Sky. I was posting there for a while, but I haven't had time for a few days.
I posted a couple things, but it's a lot of it's just reposting the same things we have over on Instagram, and Threads. So
nice. Yeah, definitely follow us. We love you to do so.
Yes, please.
Ending on something positive for this week, boys. This actually was an article on Yahoo that I found where a guy that got out of being like a QAnon cultist guy was taking questions from people. It's like, oh, my mom's really into this, or my brother, or my best friend. So he opened himself up to questions from the people, anybody like on Reddit or whatever,
the AMA,
could ask questions about it. Yeah. So part of when he was talking, he said somebody asked him a question. I don't remember what it was, but this kind of stuck with me. Life is random and shit happens sometimes, and the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you.
That
sums up life right there, man.
That's one way to say go fuck yourself.
No, I think he was trying to say that, hey, man, shit happens. You don't have to try to make sense of everything.
Yeah, I guess.
The universe is chaos.
Yeah, and it's just bigger than what we can comprehend.
And it's bigger than what we can comprehend.
That's what we fall back on.
That's what I took from
mechanisms that we can't fall back on. But
I don't know. It just sounded like, don't ask dumb questions. This is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, no more questions.
No more questions. I'm out. Thank you, folks, for being here. We're going to come back and do our top 5. Tonight is shows everybody loves, but we as individuals can't stand. So we'll do our top 5. If you're a member, join us in the members-only section of the website, or go to Patreon and sign up there.
That's
it's like
Patreon, yeah.
$3 a month and or $12 a year, or something like that. No reason why you shouldn't. Go check it out.
Yes.
I thought we were doing the top 5 one-season TV shows.
Oh, you came back with shows everybody loves?
Okay, well, I can update. That's fine. No big deal.
You got time?
I got time.
All right. Well, we're going to figure it out when we go off. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.